Good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzomos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. I'll just give it a second for some people to pass. Now, obviously, I would like to talk about the procedures, what you should expect when you're breaking up with the narcissist. So there is things that you will know, there is things you will see. Some situations may be a little bit different depending on who you're dealing with at that moment. But usually, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start this video by saying that it's going to be very difficult to break up with the narcissist, but it's possible. You know, it's very difficult, but it's possible because we have already done it. That means you can do it as well. Now, first of all, what you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is few things actually you need to understand. Number one, the narcissist is not willing to let you go. They will pretend that they are breaking up with you, they are discarded you, and all that kind of bullcrap. But I can guarantee you, those guys, they do not want to let you go. Why don't they want to let you go? Is because they believe you are their property. So they want you to hang around as long as they need you until they know that, okay, so you finished. I remember doing a video and I told you guys that the narcissist is not done with you until their mission is accomplished. And at this point in time, we all know what is their mission in your life. They don't want to let you go. It's very important to understand this. And secondly, it's very important to understand that the narcissist, they do not want to see you with someone else. So it doesn't matter whether you're through a discard, you know, they're somewhere out there sleeping with their new supplies and everything. At the same time, they do not want to see you with anyone else, because it all comes back to that thing they have got in their system, in their mind, in their program, that you're their property. So they want to have access to you whenever they want to. You know what I mean? They will go with the new supply, they will do whatever they want to do, and then they will come back and, you know, hoover you back into those entanglements. It's sometimes why a lot of people find it very difficult to leave the narcissist. So it's why actually I'm doing this video, so that I can help you to break away. You know what I mean? I want to help you guys to break free permanently, to break away, to break up with this kind of energy vampires. There is something else you guys need to understand as we dive deep into this video. The first thing the narcissist will do, we already know they will trauma bond you eventually. Now, what they are going to do, they are going to separate you from the people that mean a lot to you. So they don't want you in contact with family members. They don't want to see your friends. They don't want to see your teachers. They don't want to see you. It doesn't matter who they are. They don't want to see you around anybody. They want to have full control of your life. And they want to be the ones in charge. And they want to be the ones to dictate who should and who shouldn't come close to you. It always happens most of the times. Now, when they're into your life, of course, in those couple of months, you've been trauma bonded eventually, you guys have started dating and things like that. Now, what is usually going to happen is that they are going to, first of all, crumble your finances. It doesn't matter who you are. You can be running your own business. You can be having a lot of money. You can be doing beautiful things for yourself. It doesn't matter for them. They are going to crumble your finances. So when they meet you, your person is doing well financially, they are going to be always asking for something. Buy me this phone. Take me to the beach. Take me this place. Do this and buy for me that car. All this kind of stuff. Now, it is their program, because they want to actually bring down your finances, because the narcissist knows when you're financially stable and you're financially steady, it is going to be very easier for you to move on with your life, because you have got the resources that you need. So they will break down your finances so that you can actually go bankrupt, because I've told you guys, these guys, they want to bring you down with them. They are spiritually, financially, emotionally bankrupt, so they also want to bring you down with them so that you can vibrate at the same frequency. It is going to be very difficult most of the times to leave them. So don't be surprised why you see a lot of times people are thinking that, okay, I want to leave this person, I want to leave, they're tired, they want to get away, they want to get out. And they do not know what they need to do. They are stuck with these individuals, they have babies, they have mortgages, they have car financing, they have everything is messed up. And it's very, very difficult to go. So most of the times, even if it's your parents, they have already hooked you very deep, their fangs are very deep in your skin, it's very difficult for you to leave. Now, one of the things you're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, personally, in my own experience, I've told you guys in my video, there's a video I shared with you guys, and I told you, when I was leaving the narcissist, I left with nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, when I'm talking about these things, believe me, I left the narcissist with nothing. It's not because I didn't have a job or wasn't working or things like that. I had money those days I was working, but the narcissists, normally what they do, they always keep on asking for stuff because they know you are this soft person, you always keep on giving. So what happens is that now, I just woke up one day, I was tired. I'd got this awakening and everything. I'd found out who they are, so I was going out. I was ready to go anywhere. It didn't matter where, you know what I mean? But if you're a person like that who is also struggling, which we already know you're actually struggling, what you really have to do, you have to make sure that, first of all, you secure some finances with you. It may require you to maybe sometime you're going to stay some days in a hotel. It may require you maybe if actually your life is in danger, or you feel threatened, even physically, and you think that it's very terrible, it's very, very dangerous for you to stay around them, then what you might actually do, you might have to go and call these social services. There are sometimes these, services, they what do they call these homes? They're like shelters, things like that, you know what I mean? You might actually, ladies and gentlemen, I've told you, when it comes to this kind of individuals, you do not take your life for granted. You have to make sure that you know what you're doing. So you might have to step away. Ladies and gentlemen, you might have to get out. It doesn't matter, in the middle of the night, you might have to call a taxi. You might have to run off to a shelter, because those individuals, it's very, very dangerous to stay with them. But first of all, before breaking up, let's understand something very important. Eventually, the reason why you want to break away is because most likely you have figured out that you're dealing with these energy vampires, and you've caught them in their own game, so you've caught up with them eventually. The very first thing what you're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to stay very quiet. It is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. I've emphasized this thing over and over again in my videos. You are not going to tell them what you have discovered, because let me tell you something. I've told you, these are demons. This whole thing is a spiritual thing going on. So these are demons you're dealing with. They do not want to be discovered. So what you're going to do, if you have found out that maybe your husband, maybe your wife is a narcissist, what you're going to do, you are going to stay as calm as you can. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to require you a lot of guts. It's going to require you a lot of patience. You are going to stay as calm as you can. Do not even utter a word. Do not say anything. Don't tell them anything. Personally, when I got the spiritual awakening in that time, when the narcissist was out, by the time the narcissist came back to the vicinity, I stayed as quiet and very, very calm. And I remember in that time, we had been going through a lot of this, drama and all. There was so much chaos in that time. You guys already know during this devaluation process. I sat the narcissist down. I told her, listen, I want to talk to you. And I told the narcissist that, okay, I've been seeing whatever's been going on. I understand your side of the story. Now it's time for you to understand my side of the story. I actually want to end this entanglement, this relationship. I want to finish it. So I'm going to leave the house. Because, of course, in that time, I knew that the narcissist was already seeing somebody else. So there was a new supply in the equation. I calmly told them that, okay, we don't need to fight around with this whole thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave the vicinity and I'll let you guys do your own thing. You know what I mean? So most of the times, why am I saying this is that if the narcissist ever figures out that you have found out who they are, the narcissist is going to put up a fight. Before they put up a fight, they're first of all going to love bomb you. They're going to go back to that love bomb and say some nice sweet words and, oh, come on, let's go and have a dinner together in the evening. Let's go somewhere. Let's go for a vacation. We've been here. We've been around the house for a very long period of time. Come on, let's go and have a dinner. Those kind of things, they're going to be sweet in those moments because they feel and they know that you want to leave. But should you actually stick on that argument or stick on that direction and you let it be known to them that you really want to leave, they're going to put up a fight. So it's not going to be very easy for you to leave, because when you're putting up this fight, for example, the reason why they put up this fight, they are feeling this spiritual detachment from them. You know, they're feeling that actually you're removing your energy out of their vicinity. And they know they cannot survive without your energy. Most of the cases is the reason as to why they put up a fight. They are going to struggle with you. They will throw the plates around. They will go and hit your car. They will go and break the windows. They will go and, you know, they can even put the house on fire. It's the reason as to why we encourage you guys, ladies and gentlemen, very, very important for you, when you know that you're going to leave these guys, these individuals, you go as quiet as you can. Make sure you do not let anybody know what is your next move, and you do not let them know which day you're leaving. Do not even let them know where you're going. That is very important. So to stay calm is very important in that time. You don't want to show them, and you don't want them to know that you've discovered who they are. So you want to make sure that the situation stays the same like it's always been before your discovery, and be as calm as you can. Talk with them slowly, you know what I mean? And eventually, what you're going to do, you're now going to start planning your exit. So in that case, you might have a grandmother in the village, you might have somebody in the countryside, you might have a friend who lives in the other side of town. Because I've told you guys, this whole thing of breaking up with these individuals is going to cause a very massive shake-up in that home. Like I've told you guys, that is a must. There's going to be a very big shake-up. So what you want to do now, you want to very slowly, very quietly, they shouldn't see you doing this, and they shouldn't know what you're doing. You're going to very quietly call somebody, a friend you know, somebody that you know that you can trust, and this has got to be something who is very distant from your relationship with them. So there are people who are supposed to be, for example, they are not constantly visiting you. There are people who don't call you regularly, because in that moment, those individuals, they do not know about them. So you need to call somebody that you know that person does not know, very far away from that area. So you call those people and plan your move. Sometimes there's people that I know. Personally, I left with 2 suitcases. So if your person who is in that vicinity, you have a lot of luggage, there's beds, there's wardrobes, there's everything. You need to, whereby it's going to become very visible for them that you're leaving. Most of the cases, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to leave with the minimum things needed. Just take the things that you need. For example, there's your phones, your laptops, the most important stuff. You're going to have to leave a lot of things behind. When you're leaving these people, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that moment whereby you just wake up one morning and then you're going to bring a van and you think that you're just going to start packing your things and putting them in the van and you think everything is going to be okay. It's going to be a lot of chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Even me personally, even that I told the nurses that I was leaving, I made sure that on that moment when I'm leaving, the nurses was not in the house. So I just woke up one day, of course I was alone at home. I got my 2 suitcases, dropped them in the taxi, and I dropped the keys on the door. So that's what I did when I was leaving. As quiet as you can, ladies and gentlemen. Don't put up a show. Don't put up a fight. If it comes to that whereby actually you may really have to get your things packed and leave, now you're going to call somebody to come around and help you to pack your stuff. Because most of the times they are going to do things, or they may say some things that you've never had before. They are going to manifest. A lot of times in that moment when you're leaving, you're causing them an injury. So most of the times they are going to manifest in so many different kinds of ways. You might even sometimes see them shapeshift. So it's the reason as to why, if you feel, okay, so there's a necessity, you have got your belongings, which mean a lot to you, you have got to move with your belongings, you are going to go and call somebody that is very close to you, tell them to come and accompany you in that moment. So in case they want to harm you or they want to injure you or things like that, there is going to be somebody who is going to help you as a backup. If there's nobody going to help you, you can actually call the law enforcement in your area. It doesn't matter where you live. Call the law enforcement and tell them that, hey, listen, I'm breaking up with this person, but I'm estimating that they're going to put up a fight. So you can call the law enforcement and let them accompany you on that moment of leaving. But let me warn you about something, ladies and gentlemen. On that point of leaving, when you're going to break up with those individuals are going to manifest in so many different kinds of ways. You're going to see them, even sometimes they're going to shapeshift. You're going to hear the voices you've never heard before. You're going to see that rage you've never seen before. It's the reason as to why when you're trying to break up with these people, try to make sure that you calculate each and every move very, very carefully, okay? Make sure that the place that you're moving to is very secured. That place, they do not know that place. That is very important. They do not know where you're going, so that they do not have anywhere to find you. Because should they know where you're going to move, they're going to keep on stalking you. These people, they never give up. They're going to keep on driving at your place. You'll hear them driving around at night. You see them coming around and banging you during the night. You see them bombarding your phone with messages. You will see a million calls a day. So make sure that they do not know where you're going, because they're going to stalk you. And second, the other thing I want to talk about, when you're leaving those people, make sure that you actually very, very far away from them. Try to go in a distance, very far away from them, because remember that these people, when you stay in that same neighborhood, they know the shops that you do your shopping, they know the gym that you visit, they know the restaurants that you go, they know the common friends that you always visit. So most of the times they are actually going to wait for you when you're moving around those vicinities, and they're going to catch you by surprise. So you want to go very, very far away from them and make sure they do not know nothing about where you're going. They do not even know the day that you have left. Even on that day that you have left, if it's unavoidable and you really have to pack your stuff, you have got a lot of things that you want to start with in the next home, make sure that you call backup. It can be the law enforcement, it can be a friend that you trust, even two people, even three. You know, guys, when you're talking about these people, we're talking about people who are extremely manipulative, and they are going to do everything to make sure that they keep you around them. Call somebody to accompany you on that journey. Now, let's say, for example, you have gone, okay, you have succeeded in leaving them, and of course, you have gone to this new place and whatever, that new spot. Because I've told you the new spot that you're going to is going to be your healing spot. So what you're going to do now, you're going to make sure you block these individuals. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing you're supposed to do, as long as the car leaves that vicinity in a very short distance, block them immediately. Make sure you do not hear anything from them. Make sure that you are not available. Even sometimes you might have to switch off your phone for a while, because those individuals, should they come around and they notice that you have left that vicinity, it's your wife, they came back home and you have left, your husband came back home and you've left, those individuals, let me tell you something, you have got to put it in your mind that they are raging in that house. So whoever is in that vicinity, they're the ones who are seeing everything. They are into rage. You will see them in burst. You will see them manifest in that time in beast mode. You don't want to experience that, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very bad sight to see. So block them and remove all their phone numbers from your phone. If possible, you can even change your phone to a new line that they do not know, because should you keep that number, most of the times you're going to see them calling you. If they call you, if they call you on an unknown number, you know that it's them, block it. They will use another one, block it. They'll go on the social media, send you messages, block them. Block. Ladies and gentlemen, the only way you can defend yourself from these energy vampires is by blocking them in all ways that you can. It's very, very important. And secondly, lastly, something I want to talk about, how to break away when you're breaking away from these guys. Now, let's say you've reached that place that you're going, okay? It could be a shelter. Stay there, calm. Use that place to mourn. Take your time. Take it easy. Understand that this thing is over. Use that place to mourn. Confide in a friend. There can be somebody, of course, in the shelters. You may find people with similar experiences. Go to those small group meetings and talk about this, okay? It's normal to talk about these kind of things after breakup. But if you have left to a place which is not a shelter, let me say, for example, you have got your own place, your own house, your own room somewhere, then try to engage a friend, and a person who knows what you're going through, a person who understands this thing from the heart, and you know that you can trust those people. Whatever it is you're talking with them, they are not going to go back and feed those kind of individuals. So you are going to now start contacting those people. Allow them to come into your space. Let them talk, because sometimes you need to talk this thing out, because you're going through this trauma and this pain and everything. You're going through a breakup. So you have to understand something, ladies and gentlemen, as I wind up this video. It's normal for people to break up. Sometimes you can find relationships, they do not work out. And sometimes you can even be with good people. It doesn't always mean that when you're breaking up, you're always breaking away from the narcissist. It can be sometimes a normal person. Maybe just sometimes things didn't work out. Maybe you didn't feel like you guys had something in common. You wanted to go somewhere left, they wanted to go right. You had different opinions about everything. That's a normal thing for people to break up. And all breakups can hurt. That's what I will guarantee you. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You have not seen pain if you have not broken away from the narcissist. You have not seen the pain of breaking away from a very toxic individual. So that pain is equivalent to the same pain you're going to feel when you have actually lost somebody. Let's say somebody has passed on and somebody has died or things like that. You're going to experience that same pain in that moment. So make sure that you allow that pain to go through you. A lot of times people, when they break away from these people, they want to go out there, they want to quickly jump into relationships, see if they can date somebody very quickly, because they're into rebounds, because they want somebody to shadow or to hide that pain. Allow that pain to go through you. Ladies and gentlemen, the secret, what I discovered when I was breaking away from the narcissist, was allowing that pain to go through me. Because that pain, when it goes through you, it is going to leave. Because remember, this thing is energy. It's going to go through your veins, okay? You're going to feel it. You're going to understand that you're going through a breakup. Accept it for what it is and see things for what they are. Allow yourself to mourn that relationship. When the pain is going to, the pain is going to flow through you and is going to leave your body. And that is when you're going to start recovering, going through the recovery process. So do not allow yourself to go into relationships. Maybe you want to date somebody in the next 2 days, the next 3 days, because you are going through pain. You want somebody to come and, and soothe your pain, something like that. They are going to cover that pain, and that pain is going to stay inside of you. So, and you're going to notice that actually most of the times you are also hurting those individuals because you are pumping out all this pain towards them. And remember that they have got nothing to do with your breakup. They was not there in a relationship. They do not know anything what your husband did or what your wife did. So do not put anybody else in that pain to feel that pain, because that pain doesn't belong to them. The pain belongs to you at that moment. So process that pain slowly within you and allow that pain to go through you so that it can leave. That thing is energy. That energy will leave. I can guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, 110%. But for that energy to leave, you have to make sure that you're in a safe spot, number one. You're not contacting them. Number two, you have blocked them on all social media platforms. You do not have any form of contact with them. You cannot even see them. If it has been a job, maybe, for example, you guys have been working together in the same environment, you have got to quit the job. Ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a lot of pain living a narcissist. You might have to leave your jobs. You're going to leave your family behind. You're going to leave a lot of things behind. You might even sometimes leave your money behind. But you have got to understand everything is going to come back to you at some point in time. It may take a while, depending on how much work you put into yourself, but everything is going to come back to you, and you're going to get to a better place in life. So until then, guys, you already know that I do love and appreciate your support. Book a session with me if you want to. If you're going through a divorce or a breakup or things like that, book a session. We shall talk about a lot of things. Healing, I also deal with healing. If you're healing, get in touch with me. I'll go with you. I'll go through the healing process with you. If you're a person who would like to support or donate to my channel, everything you need, you'll find it in the description section below. And until then, it's been a blessing to have you guys on board. Much love and blessings. There's almost signing out. And I'll catch you guys in my next one. Peace.